Okay, we're going to attempt to get to the top story yet again and get a view of the highly contested ANC Eastern Cape Provincial Conference gets underway today. As we've stated, party members will converge on the International Convention Centre in East London. This particular moment, Oscar Mabuyane and Babalo Matikizela will be contesting for the top post in the province. Aviwe Mtila joins us now. Good morning, Aviwe. Can you just give us the latest update around the registration process? How's it coming?
Okay. Well, the delegates are already trickling in their numbers here. We're expecting around 1,600 voting delegates in East London to go to the Orient Theatre today as, of course, conference kicks off today. It is the registration process, but already we've been seeing song in the front line here, especially in the beachfront, with many delegates, of course, those opposing factions. We do understand former allies, Babalo Matikizela, going up against the current chairperson of the ANC in the province, Oscar Mabuyane. In fact, I want to catch up with some of these delegates from the OR Tambo region, which we do understand initially Mfundo was supporting Oscar Mabuyane, but those divisions are quite stark on the ground here as we hear some of these branches now supporting Babalo Matikizela. So I'm thank you for joining us at eNCA. I want to clarify that issue because we do understand we've been told that OR Tambo is supporting Mabuyane. What's happening? What's changed?
There's nothing major concerning the issue of supporting who and who in the politics. I think the confusion is the fact that the regional conference was never contested, but just because of the dynamics and the disputes that were never taken care of by the current provincial leadership that we are taking out. The problem that we had in OR Tambo were 57 disputes that were never resolved, that were not in favoring Oscar Mabuyane, were supporting the new leadership that is going to emerge. So they put our branches aside and continue with the conference that does not even have this conference certificate. So we are these disgruntled branches that are being sorted out by national as we speak, as we have the verdicts that are saying, no, the delegation of OR Tambo, they were done wrong, the beach ends and stuff. But I'm confirming that this delegation, you see it here now, we're not enough. There's still more to come.
Still more to come from OR Tambo region, but I want to get a sense of why you're supporting Babalo Matikizela, given that he's part of the current leadership, he's the current treasurer of the ANC, so he would be liable for whatever happens in the Eastern Cape. Why are you supporting him?
We are sick and tired of the provincial leadership that is inside our district municipality, which is OR Tambo, as we fight corruption as a tired society, but we see our leaders, like for instance, I will take you back in the issue of OR Tambo district municipality, where the former speaker, Kokolile Kompelo, was removed because he was fighting with the Amatola water, where we discovered that one of the major politicians is having a wife that is inheriting there in the Amatola water. And there is a deep corruption in those municipalities. As we speak, most of the municipalities there are owned by our outgoing leadership of the province. And so that we decided that we support someone new that is going to bring change. Comrade Oscar Mabuyane has been a leader of this province for a while now, but we cannot have someone, this is not a kingship. It's a leadership issue that needs to be addressed. I think he's very tired now because ever since they appointed the TTs, they appointed people who does not have a background of the OR Tambo and the background of the organization, but the people of business that are there to inherit money, not the major of the branches. And you can go to the Khalima Mutlande report, you can discover that most of the wards were done in corruption because there is a nepotism and corruption. That is the cheerleaders of that, and the major contributors of that is the leadership of Oscar Mabuyane. So we thought that we need change in that. We need Comrade Babalo Matikizela to do that. We've seen him performing in the Department of Housing. We see him performing in the current Department of Public Works. So we need someone who's acting, not someone who's talking and shouting to the membership.
But Matikizela is part of the current leadership. Let me touch with you that he's the current treasurer of the ANC, part of the top 5 leadership of the ANC in the Eastern Cape province. What change is he going to bring?
Now, what's important is that we out to look at Comrade Babalo Matikizela as an individual, whereby he was deployed to the Department of Public Works as an MEC of Public Works in Eastern Cape, where he performed exceptionally well. We have seen during COVID many of the institutions like the hospital in Nesinite, in Kumbu, hospitals in Amtata, hospitals in Butterworth being renovated and redone. So we are talking about a leader that is more practical. We're talking about a leader that is practical orientated, more than theoretically orientated. We have seen results. So that's a leader that we want and we believe can take Eastern Cape forward.
Nomkhulu, I want to touch with you just lastly on the divisions that we're seeing on the ground. OR Tambo, the region itself, is divided. It paints a picture of the Eastern Cape itself that is divided. What change will the person that you'll be supporting bring to change these divisions?
You know, from 1997, we had a meeting with Tata Mandela. Tata Mandela said it's not good to have the departments concentrated in Bishop. So he suggested that we need to have departments that are scattered in all the major towns of the Eastern Cape. So when I talked to Ubabalo, he was agreeing on that in order to renew the ANC and to address the imbalances that were caused prior, he is going to assist in decentralizing these departments. Like, for instance, if you take rural department, that is rural and agrarian, I think that's that department that's dealing with agriculture and rural. So if he can take it to the former Transkei, we must not look at symptoms, we must address the problem. If it can be taken to Mthatha, for instance, because the agriculture is concentrated in the OR Tambo region, I think the renewal that is being praised by the African National Congress can happen, because what is going to happen now is the question of the balancing of economy in all these areas. Like, for instance, the Department of Education, many schools are in the former Transkei. If many schools are in the former Transkei, so we need that Department of Education to be taken to the former Transkei area. So that is going to help us. So Babalo is having those ideas. It's not a matter of factions. It's a matter of the ideas that are coming with that particular leadership, which I understand the previous leadership failed to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. Some of the branches of the OR Tambo region that are now in support of Babalo Matikizela was coming up against the former ally here, and that is Oscar Mabuyane, the current premier and the ANC chairperson. It's not set in stone, Fundo, what you pick up on the ground here. Even the numbers aren't predetermined as the outcome of this provincial conference, just judging even by the OR Tambo region, which was touted as being in support of the return of Oscar Mabuyane. But we hear quite stark divisions there. That would tell you alone that it's not set in stone. We do understand the Chris Hani region is also in support of Mabuyane, as well as the Dr. Khubusana region. Sarah Padman not clear as yet, but we do understand, of course, if you talk to these individuals and talk to the leadership here, they'll tell you that they have the numbers, but of course not set in stone. That will be determined only when the conference itself kicks off officially. Today is the registration process, which is expected to go in deep into the night, and of course we're expecting then those credentials to be adopted, and then we can see the voting of the delegations.
All right, Aviwe, we'll leave it there for now. We'll catch up with you a bit later on. That's our reporter Aviwe Mtila out in East London. Very interesting developments there, hearing of the OR Tambo region, because as Aviwe would have stated in that clip, is that in fact it was touted, or at least it was stated all along, that they are in support of Oscar Mabuyane, but clearly there are divisions. There will be a few of those delegates, or even half, nobody really knows for certain, that might be voting for Babalo Matikizela.